maybe you should meet LeVar so you can get some kind of thing going on. So me and LeVar, we had dinners and stuff. I loved him, loved his family, and we got along. So now he needed help sometimes in parts in the scenes when we were in Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, and we got real close. So I'm Fiddler and he's Kunta Kinte, and the relationships got really blended. Lou and LeVar and Fiddler and Kunta Kinte got, and it worked on the screen. So now, here he is being whipped, and this guy who whipped him, and LeVar is acting his butt off. And all of a sudden, LeVar and Kunta Kinte began to blend. And Alex is standing there, and involuntarily, probably one of the first times in my acting career, I didn't have to summon up anything. It just welled up, and I just had to hold it. And it finally, the whipping scene is over, and it might have the last line. And the last line was, "What you care what that white man calls you? Toby. Kunta Kinte, that'll be your name, that's who you'll always be." And that was the last line of the scene. And I looked down at LeVar, and I kept putting ice water on his wrist, and I said, "There's gonna be a better day. You understand me? There's going to be another day." And then the director cut and everybody went home. I don't really remember saying that, but Alex keeps talking. He used to talk about it when he spoke, but it came from the bottom of my feet. I don't know what I meant, but I think I do know what I meant, because it was very, very important. It was another day other than being handcuffed to trees, another day where there's no more lynching, another day when we're equal. There's going to be another day when we have a first black president. There's going to be another day.
I think of all of the moments in the series, that's my favorite, and it's a moment where Kunta never opens his eyes. I mean, Kunta's moment was the moment before. Once they cut him down, it's all Fiddler. It's all Fiddler, and Lou is absolutely transcendent in that moment. Because the compassion that just comes pouring out of that man. And, you know, you have to remember that there was a hierarchy that was imposed on us in slavery. And there were slaves who worked in the fields, and there were slaves who worked in the house. And Fiddler had risen within that hierarchy to a place of privilege. And he was given the responsibility of training a wild, fresh off the boat African. And all of the privilege that he had attained was on the line, on a very personal level for him. And so he had been really hard on Kunta throughout the course of that tutelage. And to see Fiddler go where he went with that, to see Lou take that character in that direction, in that moment, and really fully embrace Kunta and everything that Kunta stood for. And you get the sense of loss for Fiddler, that his opportunity to be a Kunta has long passed him by.
It was a wardrobe test. So they gave me the shirt and his costume for the character, and I went off to set while they shot another scene. And it was then that whatever it was that happened, where I felt like I had become totally taken by the spirit of my ancestors. I knew what it was intuitively, that it was all my ancestors who had never been spoken of or never been written about properly in the history books, and those millions that had died on the ships on the way over here as slaves. They were speaking to me, and so many voices. It was not my imagination, that I was just overwhelmed, and I began to I became agitated. I was speaking in tongues, they tell me. I was yelling and screaming and flip-flopping on the ground. My friend who was with me at the time, Randy, a childhood friend from New Jersey, he didn't know if I was having an epileptic seizure or what. I never had a history of anything like that. All I know is that the director who was shooting at the scene down the hill, he became very agitated. He said, "What the hell is going on up there? What's all that noise?" And there was no explanation for it other than the one that I've given you, the fact that these were my ancestors speaking to me saying, "Now you will be our voice, you will speak. And if they want to know what the African spirit is about, you stay resolute, you stay strong, show them you will not break as we did not break."